In this world, there's an invisible magic circle. There's an inside and an outside. And I'm outside.
Hey everybody, welcome to What the Flick. Bibbs, Alonso. There is a new Studio Ghibli movie called When Marnie Was There.
That's right. The latest film from Hiromasa Yonebayashi, the director of The Secret World of Arrietty, is a wonderful new haunted children's movie about a lonely young girl named Anna who goes off to live with family in the countryside, becomes enamored of a decrepit old mansion, and discovers what may be a ghost, what may be a figment of her imagination, what may be a symptom of madness. Let's take a look.
Why is it? That mansion feels familiar somehow.
It's really best for you to stay away from that old marsh house.
Just me, just me, just me. Throw me the rope! Hurry! In my dreams, I saw a girl just like you.
I've been here for a long time.
I wish that I was you.
I can't go very far from the mansion. I need to get back.
I don't care who Marnie really is. I just want to help her.
Promise me something. That will remain a secret forever.
Okay, they set up this character in a really interesting way in terms of Anna.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, she is not just sort of troubled. I mean, she is hardcore, I think, depressed. She says, I hate myself on several occasions. You know, she seems sort of borderline suicidal. I'm like, okay, this is interesting. Where are we going to go with this?
Yeah.
And then I kind of feel like they sort of back away from that, and I don't feel like that got seen through in a satisfying way. I kind of felt like the solution to her issues felt a little pat after this really intense setup of a character with genuine problems.
I disagree because I think what's at the root of Anna's difficulty here, she is very depressed, she's very isolated, she's increasingly antisocial, and it all stems from, and it's a plot point so I'm not going to ruin it, but it all stems from this general feeling that she is not wanted.
Right.
She's an orphan. She has foster parents who clearly care for her, but at the beginning of the film, she has an asthma attack. She goes to the hospital, and her first thought isn't, to hug her foster mother or say thank you. It's to say, I'm sorry I cost you more money.
Right.
She really feels unwanted and unloved, and that's actually what I really connected to in this film. This film has a very distinct and powerful and vibrant sense of what it's like to be young and feel unwanted and uncared for.
The thing is, though, the foster mother that was always shown as being loving and caring and nurturing, and I didn't understand. I'm not saying that she had to be like Cruella de Vil, but I didn't get why Anna felt such a burden, and like why it's this big crushing revelation to find out that like that foster parents get paid to take care of foster kids.
Well, I think if kids were entirely rational, they wouldn't be kids.
Well,
I also think that emotional sort of reactions to things aren't necessarily entirely based on distinct external stimuli. A lot of it is based on where you come from.
Fair enough,
she
but
lost
again,
her parents at a very young age. She's responding.
But
to
again,
these things incredibly
all of
emotionally.
that stuff is the setup, and I was fine with the setup. I just felt like the payoff didn't match for me.
I thought it did.
That aside, this is a Ghibli movie. It's gorgeous.
It is.
I loved looking at it. I never was tired of watching, these sort of beautiful landscapes and the character design and all that stuff. I just kind of felt like there's something about when they do adaptations, Secret World of Arrietty aside, that was based on the bar
That's an
version,
excellent one.
that one really works.
Yeah.
But like Howl's Moving Castle is the one I always think of where it's like, I didn't read the book. I suspect somewhere along the line something got a little.
The story is very muddled in Howl's Moving
Yeah,
Castle. It's a gorgeous
it's
movie,
not
but
Miyazaki's best script, and
definitely not. And even Ponyo, which is the Little Mermaid, but with ham, and I don't know what it's getting at. But all of that aside, I haven't read the book that this is based on either. Apparently, it's one of Hayao Miyazaki's required reading books if you want to work at Studio Ghibli. Like, you have to read this book. And I can see in the DNA of this sort of this sort of haunted sense of childhood, the sense of emotions that are very powerful and how they inspire you to look at the world as a bigger and more mystifying place, be it positive or negative. I see all that here. But I disagree that the plot doesn't really relate to her journey. I think what happens over the course of this film is she encounters this decrepit mansion, and then she discovers that even though it's clearly uninhabited and uninhabitable, there's a young girl living there named Marnie, and they begin to have clandestine moonlight communions, basically. And again, it's filmed in a very extraordinary way. The editing is such that you're never entirely sure what exactly is going on. Is this supernatural? Is it not? And I think what we start to see is that storyline begins to parallel very eerily the sort of relationship she would have hoped to have had with a friend, with a mother, this sort of closeness that she isn't feeling to anyone, quite probably because she won't let herself, quite probably because of some sense of guilt.
Right.
But it begins becoming gradually more and more cathartic, and I buy that from beginning to end.
Let me ask you this. Did you predict where it was going?
I predicted part of where it was going.
I kind of saw it coming.
Well,
and that was part of what I found unsatisfying.
But that doesn't bother me so much. It really doesn't, because although there's only so many sort of solutions to the mystery of when Marnie was there that are even remotely plausible from a dramatic perspective. So the fact that you and I, people who watch a lot of movies and have read a lot of books and are familiar with the genre in Studio Ghibli, can sort of guess where this is probably going, I don't usually see that as a red flag.
I don't necessarily see it as a problem, but it just I saw where it was going, and I saw that I was like, oh, don't go there, because I don't know. To me, it just I felt a little let down by it, partially in a plot way, but also in a way of she's got a lot of big issues to resolve, and this seems like a really handy Band-Aid for everything.
Yeah, I can see why you'd say that, and I'm not even going to necessarily disagree with you. I will say that what I do think, if this movie does something without grace, it's at the end when they start explaining what's going on, and it goes on. It's not quite the speech at the end of Psycho, which goes on forever and kills the movie dead.
It's a good comparison.
It's not a bad comparison, though. After a while, you're just like, this monologue could have been half as long. We're getting the gist of it here. You're wrapping things up.
Right.
Wrap it up. So I understand that, but I don't consider a degree of inevitability to be a negative here, especially in a film like this, in which it's not a murder mystery.
Sure.
It's not about, what's the solution to the problem? It's about her experience. The audience is bringing a lot of that what is going on with them. It's not necessarily the movie that's injecting it upon us. And I think that if you watch a film like When Marnie Was There, or any other film that has a twist, The Usual Suspects, Fight Club, whatever, if it doesn't work after the first time you've seen it, it's not a good movie. So there's always going to be a sense of inevitability after the first time. I know the story of When Marnie Was There now, and I honestly feel that if I saw the movie again, I would still get wrapped up in it. I still think it's very just elegiac is the word I used in my review. It's very haunting. And another thing I want to point out real fast, the sound design in this movie was phenomenal. The sense of the nature around them. There's a scene in like this really cracked and broken silo.
Anna! Marnie!
In which the rain is pounding down.
That is
and
pretty great.
And it was so visceral.
You're right.
And it wasn't like this THX surround sound business. It's just the way that they mixed and recorded the water in the first place felt so real that I actually felt like I was there. That is a very rare experience.
So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad movie, and if you're a Ghibli fan, you'll definitely want to check it out. It does deliver a lot of the things that you want. I just think I will put it in my list of the lesser ones, I think.
Fair enough.
What's your number?
My number is 9. I really do think it's very incredible. It's not Studio Ghibli's best film. At their best, they can approach 10. This is not My Neighbor Totoro, this is not My Princess Mononoke, but this is excellent filmmaking, and I really was enraptured by it.
All right, I give it a 7.5. I think that it does have a lot going for it, and people who like this sort of thing will like this sort of thing. So that's
great criticism.
Well, that's an old Abraham Lincoln line. So that's an 8.3 from us. It's currently a 79% on the tomato meter. So yeah, When Marnie Was There, if it's opening near you, check it out.
Check it out.